Good morning, here we are. It's a beautiful day. I want to talk to you this morning about training notes. When I was an archer, archery is a really technical sport. Not so much to do with running or walking, but to do with being very strong, very consistent, very disciplined, and so much technical knowledge. So many things to learn. Basically what I found was I was learning the same lessons week after week after week because I was forgetting stuff. I wasn't writing it down. I didn't have a notebook. So every session when I went to practice, I started to write down the weather conditions, how long the session was for, what I did during the session, whatever that training was. And then I would make notes about what I'd learned. And then at least once a week I would read back over the previous week's notes, maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sessions, however many there had been in that week. And it's amazing the stuff that comes up again and again and again. And I kept this training log or training diary, whatever you want to call it, or training journal, over a really long time. And it was so interesting to look back, particularly over the winter months, and spot some of the really stupid mistakes I was making. When it rains, the arrows tend to keep a little low. And so what that means is you need to adjust your sight marks. So if I'm shooting at 50 yards, the sight mark that I have in my log will be incorrect if it's raining. That sight mark is in dry conditions. If it's raining, the arrows tend to dip, so I need to move my sight down. That might sound wrong, but if you're an archer, you'll know what I'm talking about. You need to move your sight down a little so that the arrows stay higher, or fly true, if you will. And it was only because of this, the frustration really, that I realised at some point that I knew this already, and yet all my arrows went low today. So I was scoring around and did really badly because I got off to a terrible start because it was raining. And if only I'd kept a journal or proper training notes, this wouldn't have happened. So then I started to keep it. And looking back over it over a really long period is amazing, the stuff that you'll learn. So it's got to be done. Get yourself a nice little book and a pen. Don't just keep it in your phone. It's not nice. Actually have it a physical thing. Something very powerful about that. You'll treasure it, and you're much more likely to continue to use it and to learn from it. And just write down. You might think, well, I'm just a runner. I ran 3 miles. It took me this long. Keep notes. Keep weather notes. Maybe you got tummy ache that day. Maybe it turns out that each Friday you get tummy ache. Then maybe it turns out on a Thursday you're eating a certain something that's causing that tummy ache, but unless you keep the notes, you'll never know. You'll never find these things out about yourself and how you can coach and develop and improve yourself. Massively valuable. I do it for everything now. I even do it for work. How sad. Anyway, go fly. You can probably hear I'm struggling. I've graduated to carrying weight now. It feels like I can't breathe. I'm only doing 4 miles. I can do 8, but that's without carrying weights. Today I'm doing 4 with weight, and as you can hear, I'm struggling. Gotta go. Plan ahead, get ahead, stay ahead.